We partnered up with Mitch today, and I'll tell you why. There's a lot of conversations we have amongst our groups and, in the office, and just, right now where we're at in the business, back to basics. And Mitch, I'll let you talk about it, but it's such a powerful thing that we have in front of us, right, that is tangible, and we don't dive in deep enough to it. And so we're running the risk of other people calling our database in this market if we're not being top of mind with the people who know and trust us already. So we're on this big race. Today we're kicking off an amazing fun challenge, and I appreciate your time because we're going to do a lot of fun video with it.
She does, wait.
Yeah.
Not can you talk today, can you do something for the next 67 days? Thank you guys so much for being here. We actually have a magazine as well that I brought copies for. If you don't know, it is Pride Month. So we have a Pride edition. So if you have clients, and when we're talking about building your database, you have to come from service, right? You have to reach out to them and you have to talk about what they want to talk about. And right now, it's not about listing their house. That's not top of mind because of the economy and this and that. So I also brought some vendors here that we're going to talk about later. So Adam Stewart's here. He builds ADUs, right? So if I don't want to sell, what about building an ADU? Investments. When you say money, making money, investments, people want to talk to you, right? That leads to buying and selling houses. So thank you for being here. Talk to him.
Random fact for you, Mitch. About 20% of our customers in the last 6 months have had both the parent and the kids sell their homes to buy a new home so the parents could build an ADU. And so just as far as you get one deal out of that, you can turn it into multiple.
So after this, talk to Adam, right? We have a representative for Aging Next, Abby. Raise your hand. Aging Next is a organization that deals with people who are moving into the next stage of their life. And if you don't know this fact, 10,000 people a day in the US turn 65. Right? So is there a need for resources, moving, changing next? Yes. So meet with Abby. And then also when we're talking about our database, the number one thing that I get when I'm talking to someone is they think they want to be a real estate agent. Right? So my sponsor is here, Victor. He teaches the real estate school here at your market center. All right? So you can build your downline by just saying, you know what? I'm going to introduce you to Victor, right? And just get them off the phone. All right? Introduce them to Victor. They can come to the class. They name you their sponsor. Victor's here because he's my sponsor and he likes that I built a big team. Everyone downloaded the Command app, right? So I want you to pull out your phones and I want you to open your Command app. Now, I am going to be honest right here, and we're on tape. I hated Command until Natalia said you have to use it. I've been with Keller Williams off and on for 4.5 years and I never used it because I tried once and I was like, this sucks. It's not your mama's Command anymore, all right? So I want you to open your Command app. Most of you have probably already done this, but I want you to humor me. What's going to happen is you're going to open your Command app and you're going to go to Contacts. Okay? When you go to Contacts, in the very top right, there's 3 little dots. Do you see the dots? Press the dots. And then you see Import Contacts. Press that button. You're going to have to say yes. You have to, right? Continue. Now it's showing you how many contacts are in your phone. Does someone want to share that number?
777.
777. Someone else want to share that number with me? 753. 2,200 people.
1,130.
All right. So it's like Price is Right, right? You press select all. You press select all and continue, and you just built a database. Congratulations. That's it. Everyone in your phone is now in your database. It's that simple now. Okay? Now we got to clean it up. And that's what we're going to talk about. But here's the thing. Reminder media is great if you have people's addresses. How many of those people do you have their address? Doing an email campaign is great if I have your email address. Doing an event is great if I have a way to reach out to you and talk to you. So we have to build a database. All right? Size doesn't matter. It's quality. All right? So next slide, please. So we've done the research. Keller Williams has done the research, right? When you go into a coaching call, have you done coaching, Caleb?
I have in the past.
You have done some coaching in the past. Brenda, have you done any coaching? No? Okay. So when you've done coaching and you sit someone down and you say, what's your goal? What do they say?
They say, I want to sell X number of houses per year.
It's usually a dollar amount. Do you know the dollar amount that they usually say? $100,000, right? They always say, I want to make $100,000. I mean, I've been coaching now for 3 years, and I've only had one person in 3 years not say $100,000. She had the greatest number. She said $79,000. And I said, why? And she goes, because my alimony is $78,000 a year, and I want to make more. Now, first of all, I'm like, why are you working? But that was the only person that did not say to me their first answer, $100,000 a year. So Keller Williams knows this, and they're saying you have to have 201 people in your database, next slide, to make $100,000 a year. That's it, right? You can go. I don't care about that one. Okay, so we've done the research, right? Keller Williams, the biggest real estate agency in the world, the biggest broker. We've talked to everybody. We know everyone. We have the data. Here it is, right? People who have a database of 0 people sell one house in Southern California, right? We're lucky. We posted a social media post and our aunt or uncle said, I need to sell the house, right? 1 to 10, not much bigger, right? We're seeing the database. 11 to 20, 21, see, we're not going up. But to get to 100,000, we need 201 to 1,000 people. That's it. But we have to have name, number, address, and a reason for them to answer our phone call. When you're a new agent, it's really easy because you're excited. I just got my real estate license. Good for you, right? That phone call is easy. But how long have you been in real estate?
12 years.
12 years. They know that Caleb Handsome is a real estate agent. How do you make that phone call 12 years from now? So not only when you're building your database do you have to get their information, but you have to build a relationship. All right? There has to be something from value. That's why I'm saying quality is always better than quantity. Now, when I'm building my database, I don't discard people. Ready for it? I don't discard people. When I was building my days, and my PC coach was supposed to be here and he's not, my PC coach told me, call everyone in your cell phone and tell them you're a real estate agent. It's the first thing he said to do. Well, I was a chicken. I didn't want to call, so I texted. But even when I was texting, I was pre-qualifying people. Well, you know, this person, they can't afford a house. I'm going to skip them. Oh, this person, I ghosted that person after a couple dates. I'm not going to text them, right? And I went back to my PC coach, and he said, you know, did you call everyone? And I said, no, but I texted. He goes, did you text everyone? And I told him, no, but I didn't text these. It's okay. I didn't text these 20 people. He said, you got to text those 20 people. One of the people was, Devin was 22 at the time. She was a sophomore in college. And one of the people was her sophomore high school water polo coach. And the last time I talked to that man, I yelled at him because he didn't give my kid the award he wanted because, yes, I'm that parent, right? That was the last time I talked to him. It was after the banquet I called and was like, why didn't my kid get that? And he hung up on me, right? But I sent the text. 10 minutes later, he calls me. My dad is moving to Texas and needs to sell his house. And at that time, in Glendora, the house was $580. It was a big sell, right? I had a listing within a week, but I didn't pre-qualify them. So that's the other thing when we're building our databases. It's not about the person you're talking to. It's about who they know. It's never about the person you're talking to, right? It's about building a relationship so they trust you enough to refer you, right? That's a trust thing. We have 2 pieces of paper in front of us. This is what we're going to do. Did everyone download their database? Right here and now. Did you do it? This is the other pet peeve I have when I coach, is that you write stuff down and you don't do it. Just do it now. Do it right now. When I coach in my team, I make them put it in their calendar. If they're not going to do it right now, what we talk about, they have to put it in their calendar and tell me what day and time they're going to do it. All right? So here's the thing. Keller Williams teaches us about Ford. The acronym is Ford. When you're calling people in your database and you're trying to build your database and you're trying to build your relationship and you're talking to the water polo coach that you haven't talked to in 4 years, right? Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Stay on those subjects. Nowhere in there does it say real estate, right? Because you have to come at somebody with value and something that they want to learn and hear about. And nobody likes talking about themselves more than we do, right? Everyone likes talking about, how was your vacation? It was amazing. I heard you were engaged. He's amazing, right? But a normal human being is going to ask you in return, what about you? And that's when you talk about real estate, right? These are the conversations you have to have with your database 4 times a year. So when we're going through, someone had 7,000. Who had 7,000 people on their phone? Patricia. Well, that's because she's amazing. Who? Volley, how many did you have? 2,000 people, right?
Thousands from a different country.
Listen, when I was on vacation, I picked up hitchhikers who are from France, and they're now meeting with their Keller Williams rep, and I may have a downline in France, by the way. But, so they're in a different country. Fine. But that's the thing. I believe that a strong database, to be honest, the database that I'm working for real estate, if they live 30 miles away, they're not in my database. Right? Because referrals may or may not come, but I don't want that to be the base of my business. Right? I want it to be the base of my business. I want my time, the money, the energy that I'm expending to be with people that are my business. So for me, the database is anyone that knows me, trusts me, answers my phone, and lives within 30 miles of me. That's my 201, right? And for me, last I checked, it was 956. I have 956. My database, Devin, how many people are in the Spot Cafe's database?
25,000.
But I'm not trying to contact all 25,000 of them, right? Because some of those just showed up once, right? We narrowed it down to 956. Quality people that when I call them, they pick up the phone because I've built a relationship with them. So that's what we need to do. We need to go through our database every single day. How am I on time? What time is it? Okay. We have to go through our database every day, and we have to find those people and build that out, right? Here's the other thing with you guys, and what we're going to talk about in the 66-day challenge. What's your job? I don't know your name. What's your name?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's your name?
Barbara.
Barbara. What's your job?
Real estate agent.
What does that entail?
I sell houses, list houses.
What's your day look like?
Very busy and lots of phone calls.
Lots of busy phone calls. Here's the thing. The only time you are working is when you are talking to a person about real estate. Everything else you're doing is busy work. And real estate agents, I've seen real estate agents that are like, man, I get up at 7, and I go bed to 5, and I'm like, cool. How much time did you talk to someone about real estate? Oh, I didn't have time. I'm like, then you didn't work today. You could have not sold a house from the beach. You could have not sold a house from Disneyland. You could have not sold a house from taking a nap, right? That's your job. Your job every day is to pick up the phone and call somebody and talk about real estate and what you do and make a quality connection. It's nice that you posted online. It's great that you sent the flyer. It's amazing that you did the open house. But if you don't stay in touch with that person, Brenda will. And close a $5.3 million. I guarantee you there's someone in the room that knows that person. You don't know how many times I look at what the recent people sold, and I'm like, I've seen that dude at the spot 3 or 4 times. So it's about the fact that the reason that Brenda got that is because she spends her time, her work hours on the phone, calling and cultivating. Now, does Brenda post online? Absolutely. Does she send out catalogs? Does she do the other things? But what's the most important thing you do every day?
I don't call every day, but I call often.
You call often.
I can tell you how many people I connected with in the last 90 days, like, two-way in my database. It's like 350 people. And my goal is I know that as that number goes up, the number of two-way interactions I had with people in my database, my income goes up. And so I'm always keeping an eye on that. And so for sure.
How many hours does your map coach tell you you're supposed to be on the phone a day?
I prospect not by calling. I have events and I have open houses.
But at events and as you're talking to people.
Well, we put a goal and then we go by the goal. How many appointments, how many listings, how many.
But you have a database or else people wouldn't go to your event.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay. So here's the thing. We're going to have a 66-day challenge, and I hope you all participate in it. All right? Here's what we're looking for. And this is what this letter's for. I don't know if you've already read this letter, but this is, what am I supposed to call them? I'm not supposed to call them time sucks. What am I supposed to call them? Routine disruptors. This letter goes out to your routine disruptors. That's the PC way of referring to children. And what I want you to do is I want you to look at your schedule right now and say to yourself, what do I got going on in the next 66 days? What is it that is happening in the day that I can't? And what we want is we want you to commit to 2 hours a day, because that's how long we think it takes to get 4 people on the phone and have a conversation with you. Now, if you get lucky and you make your 4 connections within 20 minutes, then great. But we know that it takes 66 days to build a habit. So you got to do it every day for 66 days for it to be a habit. Because what happens is I don't do it today because I'm going to the beach. And then I don't do it tomorrow because I have a sunburn. And then I don't do it the next day because of the team meeting and there's free lunch. Right? And we just keep having excuses. This is why we have to time block. We have to look at our schedules now. And nobody in here said less than 200 people in their cell phone. So we don't need to do another open house. We need to call the people that already know us.
Okay, I have a question. So when you're
Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you stand up and say your name, because nobody knows who you are.
I'm Brianna. So my question is, I'm kind of the same. I texted everybody when I first got my real estate license, but I haven't really included them in my database. So how would I start that conversation if I'm calling somebody I haven't spoke to since college? Do I just say, hey, how's your family doing? They're going to ask me, like, why are you calling me?
All right, who has an answer?
If you say
Stand up and tell them your name. These people don't know who you are.
Okay.
Tell them who you are. Yeah.
Oh, I'm JoJo Treadwell. I would say if somebody called me and said, hey, how's your family doing, that after I answer them, I'm going to say, how are you?
Okay.
And then you're going to say, I'm great. I'm doing all this real estate work.
But you just started with
But I wouldn't-
your family?
However you start conversations. I mean, I would say, how are you? I would say, how are you? How are the
Okay.
kids? I just noticed on Facebook that your daughter had a ballet recital or that you went on vacation. How was that? Tell me about it.
You got to do forward, and this is why we do scripts practice. If you don't go to scripts practice, that's not you. It's every Monday. It's Stein Team Office.
It's like if I were you, because everybody has their own style. So it's about using your own organic personality in connections. And it's like, you know what? Hey, Brianna, how are you? This is Natalia. I don't know if you remember me from college, but it's been such a long time. How's life? I would do some Facebook.
So, yes, that's the thing, is I Facebook stalk every single person before I call them. I Google them because it's like, oh, I saw you were in prison. How would that go? No, but if you Google somebody, you might find something out, right? You'd be like, how, was the food good? Right? And so, Facebook's like that. Again, what your mindset is, and you know what I scream to my team all the time from the other room? Stop selling.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be sold anymore, right? It's a relationship, right? It's a relationship. When I want to work with a nonprofit, I don't go to them and be like, oh, I did this one fundraiser. Now can you have a copy of your database? Right? No. We build a relationship.
Yeah.
And you build a relationship so they want to help you.
Brenda?
Right?
So we live in a small little community of 14 homes, gated community. And this one neighbor, everybody knows each other, everybody knows what we do. But this one neighbor, for whatever referrals he needs, I don't see him every day and stuff, but he always picks up the phone and it says, do you have a roofer? Do you have a plumber? And I'm like, you have to be resourceful. So they know to come to me, even though we don't speak every single day. Which is
right, and that's you got to build your team. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was a brand new agent, and Derek Oy was talking at CRMLS Up, and I didn't know who Derek Oy was, except the guy that looked like Michael Keaton. But everyone said you got to go see him talk, and I went to CRMLS, and the room was packed, and he said something to me that was so profound, and I had only been an agent for like a month or two, and he goes, the relationships you have in this room are just as important as your clients, right? Because the resources in this room, we all know a plumber, we all know a roofer, we all know ones not to use, right? You came to a team meeting and you told me, I gave you a piece of advice that got you out of some problems in a transaction, right? So you have to be that resource. Now you can't be everything to everyone, right? But everyone in this room has a strength, right? We did something before we got into real estate, right? Mine is water polo, right? I was a water polo coach. I had an Olympic athlete, hate what you see here. We all had something. We're bilingual, we're whatever, and you start with there, right? But these are people that know you. Like you're not selling them. Right? They already know you. They're in your phone for a reason. The thing that I also do too, when I was like going through, was I was like, well, I'm not going to call my accountant. She must know a real estate agent. I'm not going to call my home warranty people and put them in my database. Now they're in a separate category. Like I don't send them postcards, but they are in my database, and I do know how to reach out to them quickly because I need that database too. Right? And I do have a relationship with them outside of just when I need something, so that I get to the top of the pile when we get out of that, the market we were in, and now we're in again with the multiple offers and then this and then that. You never know. I mean, I got an escrow one time because we both used the same roofer once. So it's about relationships. And when you're calling your database, I want you to remember that you are just having a conversation. Remember Ford, practice it, right? Say it to you before. Keep this by your desk and look at it. I am calling this person because someone you went to college with, you have something in common. What have you been doing since college?
A lot.
Right? No, but what have they been doing? It's about them, right? And we're building that relationship so that when we do an event, she wants to go because she remembers how much she misses you, right? We used to do events all the time and no one would show up because our databases weren't tight. The last event we did, the building's capacity was 240. We had 242 people RSVP, right? Only 225 showed up, but that's pretty good. But that was because our database was so tight that when we were calling, they knew we were calling for a reason besides, you want to sell your house? Want to sell your house? Want to sell your house? Right? No. Click, and then they block you. All right? So I want you guys to remember that. But most importantly, before we end here, is I want you to commit to the 66 days. All right? I want you to think about it right now. If you're looking over this letter, You're going to send this letter to the people that live in your house. All right? We're going to go over it really quick. All right? It's very important to me, so I'm asking for your support and encouragement as I build my database in real estate. Over the next 66 days, I will be participating in a 66-day challenge where I have to talk to 4 people a day to build my database. Talk, speak, not text. Speak. All right? This is going to require me to spend 2 hours every day solely on my database. You see, it takes 66 days to build a habit, so I have to do this every day. I cannot skip a day, or else I will not be creating a habit. So I really need your help staying focused on my goal. I am very excited about this challenge, and I want you to know it will help me grow my business and is a foundation to a successful career in real estate. So, looking at the schedule, I'm going to need help with the following things. So look at your schedule. Look at what you do Monday through Friday, today. Because it starts tomorrow. All right? So look at it today. My day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday gets cut in half because I have to pick my kid up at 2:45. Right? So is there something I can do? Is there somewhere I can send her? Is there summer starting? So kids are going to be even a bigger issue. Looking forward to the next 66 days, I foresee the issues on the following dates. Right? Look forward, plan a little bit. You are a business owner, for goodness sakes. The CEO of Apple does not walk in and go, "What are we doing today?" There is a vision for a month or 2 out, all right? So look, I'm going on vacation. So even though Mitch says I have to do 4 a day, I'm not going to do it while I'm in Hawaii. So I'm going to do 8 until I leave, right? I used to have a coach, Cody Gibson, and January 1st, we had to go to work, and we all had one of the big yearly calendars, and you had to mark your vacation days. All the days you were going to take off for the year, you had to mark. And then you're like, oh, I'm only working like 100 days, right? And then you knew what your schedule was. So I just want you to do that for the next 66 days. What is it that's coming up? We know whose birthday is coming up. We know whatever. But here's the thing. You're at a birthday party. You can't make 4 contacts at a birthday party?
Well, you can make so much more contacts at a birthday party. Birthday party's the best.
So I just took away your excuse for the birthday party, right?
Graduation parties.
Right? So these are not days I can't work. These are days that I'm, working even harder to gather their information, to make an introduction. But if you walked around a birthday party telling people, "I'm a real estate agent, can I put you in my database?" How many numbers are you going to get? Right? I know. So the issue is that I want you to look that forward. Now this is what it says in this letter. With that said, if you agree to these changes and to help protect my time, I ask that we put these times in a calendar that we both can see. So everyone is on the same page, right? I understand, and you understand, I call them time suck, that I am not available during these times. We're locking down our work hours, right? I want to stay focused on building my business, and I believe that developing this habit will forever change my life. I am willing to make these changes in my schedule to make this habit work. Now, this paragraph is most important. So if you're saying this to someone in person, I want you to remember this. You are my partner in life and success. These people want you to succeed. Give them permission to call your ass out. I had to cuss once. All right. Give them permission to hold you accountable. All right? Give them permission. With that said, this is what we're going to do. You are going to look at your schedule today. This is your commitment. You are going to look at your schedule today. You are going to commit to 66 days. We are going to build this database together. Okay? Every day I am going to go on my YouTube page and I am going to post a video holding you accountable. It will tell you how many people you should be at, and I will give you a tip. And if you write a comment, we will all respond to that comment and motivate each other. If you don't follow me on YouTube, if you follow the Facebook page will post it. Every day for 66 days, there will be a 5-minute less video giving you a tip where we will talk about these things. If you have a question, you put it in there. We will address it in a future video. But who's in? Who is making that commitment now? Can you tape everyone that raises their hand? 66 days.